All right, welcome to the stream, everybody. Neozoid, welcome to the stream. Hristo Kanchev, my favorite Skelly streamer. Excellent. Happy to know that I am your favorite among the skeletons. Cheesem, what's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Did you all see my new video? You'll notice that the banner at the bottom now is asking you or commanding you to wishlist Gunforged on Steam, where there's a link in the description. Awesome. What'd you all think of the video? Hello, Walrus. Good way to spend your birthday. Well, happy birthday to you, Matness. Can we get a happy birthday for Matness in the chat? Loved video, awesome. Cool, glad you all liked it. So, yeah, so we're coming fresh off the video release. Not yet, but in the must-watch later playlist. Excellent, excellent. Video is great, awesome. So today, you're super excited about the game. Yeah, me too. That makes at least two of us. Chinese New Year's Eve. Okay. Happy Chinese New Year's Eve. Yeah, so today what I'm going to be doing is I'm kind of starting a broader focus of creating a vertical slice of the game. Right now you can probably tell from the devlogs that the game is like, you know, the parts are like loosely there, but it doesn't really feel like a whole experience. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pause on making new content, and I'm just going to work on the game's presentation. I'm going to try to make it, you know, use a bunch of effects everywhere, use a bunch of sound effects, clean up or overhaul the UI. Basically, I want to take all the content that I have and put it into a container that makes it look like it's a full game. And that's just going to, number one, I'm going to be able to use that to create more impressive marketing materials for my videos and for other purposes, but also just so that I can get a feel of like, what is the final game going to feel like when you like go through the menus and you click start and you go play. So yeah, there will be a limited amount of new content going on while I work on that. So there's a lot of work to do. But yeah, so today I'm going to be working on some UI stuff because my UI is kind of bland, kind of unexciting, and also because the name of the game is Gunforged now, I need to introduce probably some elements that are more reminiscent of forging rather than like just picking cards, right? So going to be basically doing a lot of experimentation today on the stream to see what's up and what I can do to make everything just look and feel better. So that's what's on the agenda. C# is good on Godot. I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think it's great. Hello, Sagleaf. Welcome, welcome. All right, then. Yeah, so what am I doing? How many zones am I creating? Planning on creating before release. So I am probably maybe 4 or 5, something like that. I think that would be a good amount. Creating the zones or the arenas is one of the most time-consuming aspects just because I have to draw the tile art and everything like that. Forged in Fire Easter egg. I don't know what that is. Is that a game? I'm assuming that's another game. Hello, Renaud. Like making my own cards during the game. No, so basically like I have that passive... Oh, hold on a second. There's something wrong here. My shaders all got reset, sadly. Yeah, I don't know what's up with this, but hold on. Okay, so my vignette got all screwed up with the Godot upgrade. No big deal. We'll just We'll fix it. But so in terms of like making things look more like forging, I have this passive reward screen. And what that looks like is, you know, you get these cards that you can select for your passives. But I'm going to redo this screen to make it look more like forging, give it some nice effects and stuff. And that's what I'm going to be doing today. So replacing this screen basically, and hopefully simplifying it from a technical perspective as well. It's a show on the History Channel. Oh, I see. So new Godot update broke some shaders. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong. Like, my shader parameters sometimes get erased too. I don't know what's the deal with that. So let's run the game and make sure that the vignette still looks good. Yeah, I think it's probably fine. There's going to be a lot of tweaking anyway, so cool. All right, so let's get into it. Now fix my vignette. Commit that. So I've drawn this like three-dimensional metal ingot kind of thing, and I've got a new screen here started, which is basically the same layout. And I'm going to, before I add any text or anything to these, I want to just animate it and see what I can do with an animation to make it look decent. And so what am I going to do? So I need to, first of all, I've got these passive ingots here that are basically just panel containers and at a fixed size. And so I need to be able to animate these. And so what am I going to do for that? So I think I'm going to create a new scene. We'll create a margin container as the root, and we're going to say passive ingot animator, something like that. And then I'm going to instantiate a child scene of that passive ingot there. I don't even know if ingot is the right word to use here. I don't even know if these look like metal, but lots of work to do, so we'll not worry about it too much. So I'll save that. And then what I want to do is center that pivot offset. And then kind of what I want to do is I want to do something like this, where I take an animation player and I have like an in animation. And we're going to do a couple of things here. I just released a big update for my mobile game, Chicken Rumble, on the App Store. You inspired me to finish it. Excellent. Yeah, congratulations. Chicken Rumble. That sounds like a pretty humorous game. Okay, so for this passive ingot animator, I'm going to animate a couple of things. So let's animate the scale for one, and let's animate. I know I said before that I don't want to use like transparency, but I'm curious to see what this is going to look like. So we're going to start the scale at 2, something like that. And the modulate, we're going to start that at alpha 0, basically. And then we're going to come in, hit the ground, fade in real quick. So it's going to be like it's dropping onto the screen. And I think I need to do like a 0.05 second interval here. There we go. Okay, so then it's going to hit, it's going to bounce back up a little bit. And then go back down. Cool. And do we want to do like a cubic? Yeah, that looks good. So that's gonna, you can imagine this, it just slams into the screen essentially, and all of these will happen like that. Okay. So just having this, I want to see what that looks like. So let's go ahead and add a script to this. Scripts. Oh, I got to create a passive scripts folder. Let's see. Scripts. UI. We'll create a new folder. Passive. Now I should be able to do that. Game.ui.passive. Passive ingot animator. We'll grab that animation player and I'll make that a little bit bigger. There we go. Animation player. And I'm going to expose a public play in. Animation player play in. Okay. To make it look more like forging in the future, you can maybe place an anvil under the ingots. Yeah, so I'm going to introduce some like fire effects. Like I want to have glowing embers, and I have a bunch of stuff to experiment with. Hopefully I can get to most of it in the stream so you all can see sort of what I had in mind. And hopefully I actually have the skill to accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish. That remains to be seen. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay. So I've got my passive reward selection screen new. So what I'll do is I'll just access those all as unique names, and we're going to create a new script for these. Game.ui.passive, and we're just going to say node private passive ingot. Oh, you know what I need to do? These need to go away, and I need to instantiate the passive ingot animator. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Passive ingot animator. And guess what we're gonna do? Copy paste. Okay. And then in my ready function, I'm just gonna do something really hacky, basically just to get this stuff working. So I'm gonna say passive. Let's do this. Async. Let's do await this dot timer 0.5. Does this not like this? Oh, I forgot the void keyword. Whoops. Okay. So I'm basically just going to play all those in, and let's see if that looks any good. Oh, lots of issues. Null reference exception because I need to access those as unique names. I'm waiting for your Godot C# complete course. Yeah, I know. I need to take the time to do that at some point. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Obviously, we don't want those to show up immediately. And so what I'll probably do is I will say, what do I want to do? I probably just want to say passive ingot animator modulate equals colors.transparent. Again, this code is not going to be ideal. I'm basically just going to copy a bunch of lines. Okay, here we go. All right, so we've got that going on. Now, my question is, can I use a camera? So if I add a shaky camera, can I actually get it to do some shakiness, you know? So let's say max shake offset is 2. Yeah, so I've got my camera 2D. So I've got my shaky camera 2D. When each of these hit, can I call shaky camera 2D dot call shake and let's say 1? Is that even going to work or not? Okay, so that appears to not work. Which I suppose makes sense. Does it make sense? Does it make sense though? Let me ask you something. Does that make sense? Oh, maybe it doesn't. If I move this camera, nothing happens on screen. And I think that's because this has a root type of canvas layer. So if I want to add screen shake, I don't think that's going to work. I might have to end up shaking this margin container, right? So I might have to shake the margin. I can't see it. But you can, I can move the margin container to move it around. So I might have to end up doing that instead. Which is unfortunate, but... So you could later have a dynamic number of them. Yeah, that's what I normally do, but there's not going to be a dynamic number of them. It's always going to be 3, and this is just quicker to throw together. I'll probably refactor the code later, though, depending on how it goes. How goes? It goes well, the Broken Crow. How are you? Clang, yep, clang sounds will definitely be a thing. Clangs and thunks, of course. Are you the guy from American Psycho? Which one? The main character? I don't think so. I don't think so, unless I get up to some bizarre sleepwalking at night. All right. So the question is, do I want to... I really need some kind of screen shake to make it feel... to make it feel... What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. To make it feel impactful, right? So there's a really... Yeah, let's just do this. Export, private, fast noise light, shake noise. Wishlist my game or else. Yeah, do it. Fix my memory leak issue by just scraping my entity spawner. Or scrapping my entity spawner. Currently on the adventure that is making a new entity spawner. Gotcha. Well, that's good. At least you identified the issue. Okay, so we've got our shake noise. Private. I don't even care. I don't even care, you know? Let's just, private float current shake percent. So we've got our current shake percentage. I probably don't even need this noise yet. I'll probably just test it with just a straight up float. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say public override void ready, not ready, process. Gosh, I use Godot daily, trust me. Double float, double delta. So in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say current shake percentage equals mathf.clamp. Actually, let's do mathf.max. Current shake percent minus, I don't know, let's say 4 times delta. We'll take the maximum of that and 0 so that we're never going into the negatives. So that's our decay for our shake right here. And then instead of calling this shaky camera 2D, here, what I'm going to do instead is say current shake percent is equal to 1. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, let's grab the margin container that is the direct child of this canvas layer. And we're going to take this margin container and we're going to set the position equal to vector2 dot, let's do new vector2 Let's do math_util.rng.randef range. Let's do -10, +10. Same deal here. So that's going to set the position of the margin container between at a maximum of 10 pixels away in every direction. But we're going to multiply this by the current shake percentage. And we're going to multiply it by the current shake percentage again, because that will give you, I believe, an exponential decay, which more closely resembles a spring and therefore looks more natural. But we will see if that works the way that I want it to. Cool. All right, let's see if that works. Now, this shake is going to look really ugly, but this is just for the purpose of testing. Okay, that was probably not very noticeable on stream because that was not noticeable on my screen. So let's bump up the offset numbers here. So I don't know if you saw that shakiness or not. It's very hard to see, and it's also very herky-jerky. I'll turn down the decay a little bit. There you go, you can probably see it there. Yeah, it will be more noticeable during runtime because there will be a, well, there will be some other elements on the screen, so I'll just keep it like that, just very rough shake. I'll replace that with noise later if I want to. Again, this is just really quickly just throwing something together to see if it's something that I even want to do. All right, so what's the next step then? The next step is, so we need those coming in. Now I want to, shoot. There we go. So dim the background a little bit. Okay, that's fine. And then I basically want these to be hoverable areas. So let me think about this. So what I essentially want is I want it to be like you hover over these, and then when you hover over one, flames or something shows up behind it. I think that'd be super cool. So flames show up behind it, you click it, it will become forged and make like a big clunking sound. Big and hefty. So how am I going to do that? Well, I could probably... I'm going to have to nest these even more, I think. So I'll need like a wrapper that can handle mouse events. Although I could just detect the mouse event in here. So the tricky part is going to be like, what do I do with the flames? Let's do the flames and just see if I can get that situated where I want it. Okay, GPU particles, these need to be over. Where do they need to be over at? Where's my transform? Thank you. 75, and then we'll just put it down 15 or so. Okay, let's do the particles texture. Particles.png. Canvas material, particles animation. Yep, that's good. New process material. Particle process material. We're going to turn off interpolation. Do we want... I don't know. Let's get the particle designed first before I mess with any of that. No choice but to build a custom fire shader, yeah. Hi, Link SX. Let's see. Do you plan to make a mobile game version? I do not. I do not do mobile games. Is there going to be controller support? We'll see. We'll see. Ideally, yes, but I'm just one person. Welcome, Nos Syndrome. Good morning, good morning. How are you doing? All right, so let's change the gravity to be -20. Basically, we're just going to... Where's my fire colors? Gradient fire initial ramp. That's not actually the initial ramp. That's the normal ramp. Okay, getting there, getting there. We are, of course, going to want to randomize some things here. So initial velocity, I like to give it a little bit of initial velocity for fire. I got to change the direction to -1. Angular velocity, we're going to give it a slight angular velocity. Angle, anywhere from 0 to 360. Oh my goodness. Scale min, let's do 1 and 1.5. We could do 0.75 and 1.5, that works. We're going to do a scale curve where we scale it in and then it gradually scales out. Probably hold that for a little bit. Cool. And we probably want to turn this up, honestly. More particles. I'm going to change the lifetime randomness as well. Find it funny that you bought your course on Udemy before your channel in my recommended. Oh yeah, interesting. Yeah, that's cool. Well, I'm glad you found your way. I should probably link my YouTube channel from my Udemy course, shouldn't I? I'm like really terrible at marketing. I'm trying to get better at it, but it's not something that's natural. I think I just basically need to play with this. Oh, the other thing I want to try is I want to try adding glow to this. Let me just do that real quick. So you can do glow. I think I have glow configured already, so I can just change the modulate in the raw. Yeah, we'll see if that does anything in game when the glow is actually present. Actually, can I just environment? World environment. Is this... Yeah, I've got glow enabled here, so can I just... We'll see if that works. So sphere surface, I don't want that. I probably want a box, and my box extents are going to be like something like that. So I guess it would be 75. There we go. Now, these probably need to be faster. This is going to be behind the card as well, so... Maybe increase the lifetime as well. Cool. So, like, yeah, what does it even look like in here? Oh, interesting. Wait, they're not going to their final color, I don't think. But I think I need more particles. More particles! Or, maybe not more, maybe I'll just make them bigger. 1.5, whoops. 1.5 and 2.5. There we go. Change the initial velocity as well. Yeah, I don't know why those are just like disappearing. Oh, maybe they're not disappearing. I think They cannot just be, they can't be seen against this color. Okay, well, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you liked the course. Just saw the video. Gunforged sounds epic. Awesome. Glad you like it. That looks a lot more 4G. Yeah, we're getting there, right? Now, I was hoping that the glow would work, but for some reason I don't think that's working. So we're going to delete that. We'll figure out the glow later, but so basically this will only show up on the one that's being targeted. The one that's being, what you call it, hovered or selected. And I was going to also add maybe some other particles that are like little embers coming out, right? So like, let's see if I can do that. Might as well, right? Make unique. This is going to be turned down. This is actually going to be in the center. So I believe this card is 180 pixels tall. So I need to do 90. So that's in the center there. This particle emission shape is going to be a sphere surface with maybe 75 radius. And it also needs to be in front. Okay. This color is just going to be white. And we're going to make these really small. Okay. So getting there, we also don't want the gravity or the initial velocity to be as high. I could probably change the sphere radius to be larger as well. Okay, something like that maybe. How does that even look in game? Let's see. So just imagine that only the one that's selected has the particle effects over it. Okay, well, it's getting there. It's getting there. Everything always looks ugly when it's a work in progress, you know? No one ever looked at a slab of wood and was like, that's not a table. All right, I wonder if I should add some, like, orbiting a little bit here. Oh! Not that much. Okay, alright. So maybe I do negative 0.01. Give it kind of like a little bit of extra motion. Ideally, these would be glowing as well, so I'd be able to go in here with my modulate and crank it up to the point where it's actually glowing. I wonder if that would work in game. Like if I just go ahead and slap right here this passive ingot. Was it the animator that I put the, yeah, I put that, okay. If I just go ahead and slap that in there and then I run the game. I'm not seeing a whole lot of effective glow, am I? Now I'm wondering if my glow is even working or if it broke. Gunforged looks really good. Can't wait to play it. Thank you. Make the depth part a different texture rect and place the fire in between the front and the back. Well, this is not a texture rect. And also, so it's coming from the top instead of the back. We'll work on it. I'm trying to get the big picture done first before I make minor tweaks. Try making ingots start reddish and fade into their normal colors. Well, it's going to, they're going to turn reddish when you select them, if that makes sense. The idea is that they become hotter when you select them. But yeah. Let's see. Are you hyped about Godot 4? I am using Godot 4 right now. It's awesome. aside from the minor issues. What is happening? I just joined. We're overhauling the passive selection UI for the game by trying to make things look more forgy and more metal-y. So, but yeah, let's play with this. I'm just gonna turn this modulate. So yeah, making this like more red. Ideally, I would fade into like another sprite that I have. But yeah, I would make it something like orangish or something when selecting it. It'd probably have to be a different sprite so that I can rigidly adhere to my color palette. I do want to figure out why my glow isn't working though. Let me go to my world. Oh. Is it perhaps because I don't have the world environment in here? Where's this being used? View owners. Dungeon den. Okay. So maybe the glow just isn't working. I don't know what any of these settings do. Turn on the bloom a little bit. Blend mode, soft light. HDR threshold, HDR scale. I don't know what any of that means. Okay. Okay, so that bloom doesn't work. What happens if I crank the intensity? Am I going to notice anything? Yeah, so I just cranked the intensity of the glow up and it didn't do anything. Is it bloom the only thing that does anything? Go the gun building route. Well, you do build your guns, right? Each gun is built out of 3 different parts. But if you're referring to that post that I made, I think, yeah, I'm going to stick with the gun building, like forging your guns together with 3 different parts. And I'm going to figure out how do I differentiate the parts better. For sure. I don't think, is glow broken in Godot 4? Like, I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. Let's try additive. I don't want to play with this all day, but I would like to have glow on those particles so that they can actually look like they're emitting some kind of light rather than just being, you know, just being flat. I did crank the strength up and the intensity. It is 3 parts together make a gun. So the receiver, the barrel, and the magazine. I make each gun as like a set. So like the moss weapon, I draw the entire moss weapon, and then each of the 3 parts gets added to like the loot pool of parts that you can have. So it's actually going to be quite rare that you're going to have a fully cohesive gun. Okay, so I don't think this environment stuff is working unless I need to turn all of these bloom levels up. I don't know what's going on. Oh. Something's going on. This is the most local level, the intensity of the second level. So what happens if I turn those all to 0? Oh, this is glowing now. See that? So that's glowing up there. So you can see now it feels a little bit warmer because it's glowing up here. So that's good. Does that work also when I do it like here? Press the wrong button. Idea for a random encounter, maybe something like COD Zombies. The mystery box. Oh, well, I have the gun scrambler that, I don't know if you saw the video. That's kind of like that. Found an old post where it's suggested to modulate the color for particles to more than 1. Yeah, that's what I've done. So the particles are modulated beyond that point. But maybe I'll go even farther and see if that works. That might do it. Let's try it. I have to put it, because I think glow doesn't work unless there's a texture behind it, so... That looks pretty cool. Maybe I'll make those, instead of white, maybe I'll just make them orange and see if that looks better. Or not orange, but like a yellow color. Maybe orange is good. Oops. Actually, I probably do want to do something lighter. No, not quite. Don't want to spend all day in these particles, so probably just leave it at that, whether it looks good or not, because I have other things to do. Okay, well, that's fine for now. We'll have to figure it out later. So, we only want this to exist, these particles to show up, if you've hovered over it. So we have to figure out a way to disable those. Or rather, only enable those when I'm hovering. So I have to do a hover state now, basically. And for that, I can either use... I'll probably just wrap it in another component. So I have the passive ingot, which is its own scene here. That is wrapped by the passive ingot animator, which can animate it in and whatnot. And now I'm probably going to do the passive ingot selector. So let's do that. And this one is going to be interesting. Because I'm going to want it to stretch to fill the entire area, which it is already doing. And I want the contents... to... Actually, do I want it to expand? I think I want it to expand. We're gonna have to see how this looks in this screen here. So I'm gonna delete all these. Passive ingot selector. 3 of those, okay. Now these need to... Why are these not expanding? I don't like these new flags. Fill... Oh, that's fine then. Fill and expand in both directions. That means that this... Oh, this is the wrong one. So I need to fill... Yep. But this here needs to shrink, center, shrink, center. Perfect. And this HBox container, I actually don't need a separation on this. Okay. Let's see. Did I use a state machine for the player? I don't think so. Let's see. My player is pretty simple. Oh yeah, I guess I do. Yeah, I have a roll state and an enter state. Very simple. That's it. So you got your normal state and your roll state, which is the dash. I called it roll at the beginning, but it's a dash. So yeah, I use state machines for all my other entities as well. Okay, so this margin container needs to have, I think, no margins. Okay, so now we want to see, okay, I want to do like a hover effect. Basically like hovering over each of these 3 areas is gonna like highlight it a little bit. I don't know, you'll see what I'm saying. So just for the sake of being able to see what's going on, I'm gonna make this larger. Yeah, something like that. So how does anyone know how to do a gradient? I think I'm gonna have to do it in here with a shader. Do I have a shader effect? Assets, effect, transition radial. All right, I'm gonna do new. I'm gonna create a simple fade out effect here, which is going to be from white to transparent. Okay, and we're gonna save that in assets, effect, save it as PNG fade. All right, we're just gonna write a really simple shader here. New shader material, new shader. Let's just make it a built-in shader, that's fine. Okay, uniform, sampler 2D, fade, texture. Okay, and I can drag the fade over in there. Color.rgb. Well, I guess, yeah, RGBA. So I'll grab the text color equals texture. Texture. So we're just grabbing the texture color, which is just going to be that yellow. And we'll say text color. But now I can do something like color dot... Oh, is that not working? I might have to... Oh, wait. Actually, I guess the color isn't coming from the color rect. So I wonder if I can just change the modulate instead to make it take effect. Nope. Okay, well, uniform vec for color is equal to call it source color. So now that's a property in my shader, which I can specify, and then I can say color here. Okay, so we've got a yellow square. Color.a is equal to texture, fade texture, uv.a. That didn't work. Assignment to uniform. Right. Okay, and then we've got a fade. So that's pretty simple. And then what I can do is I can make that shorter so that it fades out sooner. The music is very, very quiet. What's up, Mikes? Welcome to the stream. You can just create a gradient texture. Color.a equals uv.y. That's going to reverse it though, right? Yeah, so I'd have to 1.0 minus. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, do that. Thank you. I'm going to keep that fade texture though because I might need it. Cool. I suppose I could have used a gradient texture, somebody says. That's okay. I'll just use the shader. That's easy. The other thing is I can... I could animate this with a shader parameter if I wanted to, but we're not going to do that just yet. Now, the thing that I want to do is I'm going to do 1.0 minus uv.y divided by 2. Or do I want to do times 2? I basically just want it to go halfway down. What is a vertical slice? There we go. Do I need to clamp this? whatever. So what is a vertical slice? A vertical slice is basically a version of your project that resembles the completed version, but doesn't have a whole lot of content. So basically, like a vertical slice for a game would be that you go into the main menu, you can do everything that you can do in main menus, you go into the game, you get put into the game, there's sound effects, there's basically the entire game as you would play it in its full version exists in the vertical slice. Not the entire game, but a good snapshot of what the entire game looks like. And then, but it's very narrow, meaning that there's not a whole lot of content. So your vertical slice might have a small fraction of the content of the wider game. But the idea is vertical, meaning that it goes from top to bottom. You can go all the way through. The game can be played in a sensible loop, and then it gives you a better idea of like what the gameplay is actually going to be like. Versus right now, I have a lot of content, but it's kind of like loosely thrown into the game and doesn't, it's not really connected in a cohesive way, you know? Yeah, like a demo, basically. A demo would be a vertical slice. Is there an extension for Vim shortcuts in Godot? I do not know. So I don't know if this color is going to be good, but what I want to do is, I think I do want to animate this, but I think I'll settle with passive ingot selector. I will settle with just fading it in, I guess. Oh, that modulate's not going to work either. So I'd have to take my... Maybe this would have been easier with a gradient texture. Dang it. Dang it. Gradient texture it is, YOLO. So I just replace my color there. Make this the same color, but fade it out. And wait, what the heck? That's not right. I guess there's no way to orient it. Oh, that's interesting. Do I have to make a gradient texture 2D? Ah. Sorry, I'm just learning about being able to use gradient textures in normal textures, so... Why is this not updating? Come on, Godot 4. Thank you. Okay, so let's see. So presumably then I can reorient it like this. Okay. Oh, and I got snapping. Nice. Okay, well, that works. And presumably I can make this better and smoother by doing that. Oh, I don't want the width to be that much, though. Oh, I could just change it to 1 pixel width. Nice. Whatever. Okay. That's cool. So goodbye, color rectangle. So now I can actually use the modulate, I'm assuming here. Yeah, cool. All right then, and we might actually want to flip this around now that I think about it, so that it's going from bottom to top, but we'll figure that out later. Let's do animation player. Actually, we might want to use a tween here. So we got a couple of things here. Public, override, void. Do I need to do that? There's mouse entered signals on... Yeah. There's mouse entered and mouse exited signals on control nodes, so we're good. Am I waiting for a stable version of 4 to publish the game? Probably. Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm waiting for it. It's just the fact that Godot 4 will probably be out before I'm ready to release my game, so... But I guess if my game is ready before Godot 4 stable is out, but it looks fine, then I'll probably just publish it on the release candidate or whatever. That pesky, like, when they tell you don't use beta stuff in production, you can safely ignore that. All right. So, what am I doing? I need to basically connect... Wow, I'm losing my mind today. Ready. So I need to say mouse entered plus equals on mouse entered, mouse exited plus equals on mouse exited, private void on mouse entered. Okay. On mouse entered, what we're going to do is we're going to say private tween, call it current tween. I think I have to do this. If current tween dot is valid equals true, kill the tween. Oh, I have 2 mouse entered. Whoops. Okay. So on mouse entered, essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this texture rectangle here, private texture rect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set on ready. I'm going to say my texture rect dot modulate is equal to colors dot transparent. And then in here, when I have the mouse enter, I'm going to say current tween equals create tween, current tween dot tween property. We're going to tween the texture rect, modulate colors dot white, and we'll just do it over 0.1 seconds or something. And then we'll do the reverse down here. And we'll add some more like transitions and stuff, but the important thing is to see if it works. Oh, Godot crashed. Nice. What is up, Code Red? Welcome, welcome. I could never let anyone see my spaghetti code. You have to let go of it. Embrace the spaghetti. Embrace the spaghetti. What is an ingot? Well, an ingot is like it's like a clump of metal, like a bar of metal that is used. I believe ingots are used for measurement. So, like you would say, if you're making something in a steel foundry, you would have X amount of ingots that need to go into whatever mold you're filling. But maybe somebody that's more familiar with metallurgy can let you know what it actually is. There's always somebody with a longer noodle. Yes, indeed. That is true. Okay, so I think for these, basically what I need to do is I need to ignore the mouse. Got an error here. Null reference exception. Oh. Because this changed now. So in here, this is now a passive ingot selector. Ah. So I need to rename these. And the thing is, now I have to expose probably public. This is just gonna be very messy. Passive ingot animator. Don't judge the spaghetti. I've redone this UI like 3 times now. So I'm just like, I don't care how spaghetti this is. I just want it done. Okay. And we need to grab a reference to that passive ingot animator, which is going to be pretty easy to do. It's already there. Okay. Now let's see if we get any errors. Nothing happened. Nothing happened at all. Uh-huh. I see. Oh, yeah. Gee dang it. I need to reference the passive ingot animator here. You may be saying, why are you doing so many levels of nesting? Trust me, as annoying as this is, when you're trying to animate UI elements and handle input from UI elements, it just makes it easier to split them up, even having to deal with all this nonsense. Famous I'll fix it later pattern, yeah. Absolutely. Gold ingots would be a very common and well-known example. Oh, yeah. Just a new term for the player passive. It's not the new term for it, although that is an interesting idea. You collect ingots, charged ingots or something, but I'm just presenting it differently to make it a little bit more, I want to make it more brutal with an umlaut, like brutal. And the little dinky cards that I had before were not exactly doing the job. I was actually talking with a friend yesterday, and he made the suggestion to sort of revisit the screen, and I agree. So that's why we're doing that. But this is part of building the vertical slice. Like, I'm just going to focus basically on polishing what I have and making it like a really nice, tight loop, so that I can easily market the game. Now, what am I doing? Because it's much more impressive to show a game that looks basically finished than it is to show a game that you don't know what's going on, Okay, let's see if that works. So I basically had to change all the mouse filter settings, and now, there we go. So now you can see that I hover over these things and that works. So we're getting there. That yellow is ugly, but we'll fix it. So now what I want to do is I want to turn on the particles, right? So public void enable particles. Public void disable particles. We'll grab a reference to those GPU particles 2D, fire particles, and ember particles. Fire particles dot enabled or emitting equals true. Ember particles dot emitting equals true, and then these are going to be false down here. Cool. So those are public methods. And so in here, when I hover over something, I can say passive ingot animator dot enable particles, and then passive ingot animator dot disable particles. So let's see how that looks. Okay, interesting. So what I'm thinking is make those particles a little bit faster, a little bit more aggressive. There's some games where I wonder how it looked before polish, like Thomas Was Alone. Yeah, I'm sure it was just like really flat colors and no lighting and no bloom. Because that game is really like, the post-processing effects bring that game to a level of visual polish that is acceptable, if not good looking, right? So maybe I do want a shorter lifetime, and maybe I want these particles to be a little bit faster. So they're a little bit more responsive when you hover out of them, right? Okay, we're getting somewhere. Now I'm wondering if, like, should the gradient be reversed? I don't like the gradient color, but I'm wondering if the gradient should be reversed. Oh my. That's kind of cool. So now there's a bunch of things that little things that I can do here to make this look a little bit nicer. I need to figure out what it looks like with text on it, but there's also a bunch of other effects that I want to do. Ooh, that's a nicer color. That is a much nicer color. What happens when let's see. Passive reward selection screen new. I'm just gonna overlay this on the game itself and just see what that looks like. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like the glow isn't really gonna do much when you're inside of a canvas layer. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Dungeon Den. I'll copy this world environment and paste it in here. Is there any world settings on here? Follow viewport. Oh, interesting. Okay, I'll play with that later. I might be able to use the camera shake that I already have. Yeah, I can't figure out how to get the glow to work. That's unfortunate. I'm wondering if I'm back on the glow stuff again, but I'm wondering if... So, oh, this dimmed background... Hold on a second. If I just put the color rect directly there with the world environment, because glow and stuff often needs like an actual texture to be behind the glow in order to work. At least that's my understanding. Let me try something. Sorry, I'm doing a bunch of experimentation, but hey, that's what you're here for. Do I just have like a big... I'll use the fade here. Where's my scale? Just do 50. We're just gonna see if this works. Well, obviously I need to change the darkness of it. Modulate. Oh, why is my UI glowing? Do you see this? My UI is glowing. That's funny. It's interesting to see the process. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, this is honestly, like, this is... The thing about, like, the devlogs on YouTube, and I've fallen into this trap too, is, like, I see somebody make a devlog, and it's like, wow, they're doing it so well, and it's just, it looks so easy, but I think the reality is that it's just a struggle from start to finish. Like, I would not be... There's a non-zero chance that I will have to scrap this UI again as well. But that's just the nature of it. It's a very iterative process. You just kind of have to trial and error. I'm sure if you're more experienced of a game developer, you probably have less trial and error to do. But yeah, for me, it's just like, try something, it doesn't work. Try it again, it doesn't work. Try it again, it doesn't work. Until the game's finished. Anyway, so yeah, my UI is glowing. That's not good. But I'm going to darken that. Just curious to see if having a texture is going to make the glow work. No. So yeah, I really don't know how to make the glow work then. When you're in it, it probably has something to do with the fact that it's a canvas layer. So I really don't know. I don't know how I'm going to make that work. I do want to try this follow viewport though. Oh wait, that's not what I wanted. Okay, never mind. All right, back to actually editing the UI. Perfect is the enemy of good, yes. Too much gaming for me, too little game dev learning for me. Yep, that is also a struggle. Actually, the reason that I'm doing a stream partially right now is because it removes the temptation for me to hop into my newly downloaded modded Skyrim. That's for later tonight. I'm using Unity, but it feels like everyone is using Godot these days. Yeah, the Godot popularity is going way up, which is really... I think it's really exciting. I really think that Godot is something special. It's one of those things that is hard to put your finger on exactly. It's hard to pinpoint exactly what makes it so special, but yeah, it's a special little engine. So I'm glad to see it's growing in popularity. Is the background a problem for the glow? Yeah, something like that. I'll do some more experimentation with that to figure out what's going on, but... So there's another thing that I want to do, which is to add a sheen. I want to add some slight motion to these probably, but I also want to add a sheen. Yeah, I'm just trying to decide what I should do next here. I definitely think that this thing needs to, like... I think it needs to hover up. You know what I mean? Like, it needs to raise up a little bit when you hover over it. And so I'm going to see if I can do that. So animation player, nope. Maybe a tween would be more appropriate for this, but we're going to just try it with an animation player first. Actually, I don't think this is going to work. But we'll give it a shot. Oh yeah, see, it won't let me animate the position here. So that's not gonna work. So this is the problem with animating UI. This happens all the time. So the positions are determined by the container parents. And so it's really difficult to animate these things sometimes. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is just do a public void play hover in. I'm gonna have to ignore Godot's restrictions and use a tween instead. So we're just gonna play a tween, play hover out. Okay, so create tween. Yep, we're gonna say current tween dot tween property. We want to tween the position of the passive ingot. Node private margin container passive ingot. Tween the property of passive ingot position vector2 dot up times 10. We'll just do 10. It's going to be way too much, but I want to see that it works. Tween. Is that not right? Oh, I forgot a duration. Okay, and then we'll take this and we'll tween that to vector 2.0. Okay, so now on mouse exited, mouse entered, I can say passive ingot animator dot passive oh yeah, I can just do this. Play hover in, and then we're gonna call play hover out here, and we're gonna see if that works. Let's see. Unity has been suffering with poor business decisions as of late, teaming up with a company that's known for making malware. Yeah. Feel like I know my tools. I just need to knuckle down and make something. Yep. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, making and finishing a game is really difficult. It's actually really, really difficult. All right, so we've got some animation in here. So you can see now using tween allows me to do that animation. It's a little bit slow. TBH honest. So we're going to change it to 1/10 of a second instead. Hello, Artindi. Yeah, Seb. So briefly describe what my game's version of a vertical slice. So the vertical slice that I want to do is basically you load up the game, you see a main menu, you might see an options menu as well, but you see a main menu. You click play, it drops you into the start of the game, which is either going to be directly into the arena or into some kind of pre-game room like in Enter the Gungeon where you can select characters and stuff. Then you go in, you play the game as it currently exists now, so you play through a bunch of waves, you encounter events, you move on from the dungeon den to the graveyard. Then you fight a final boss, and then you get sent back. If you beat the boss or die, you get sent back to the menu and dropped back in like the beginning again, right? So that's kind of like what I'm defining as a vertical slice, because then you can essentially play the game all the way through and then restart if you want to, right? Have I considered making a loading screen? So 2D games, generally speaking, load very fast. And so my loading screen is just a transition, basically. So you'll see like a screen wipe go from corner to bottom. And there will be a moment in time, like a frame, where the screen is entirely black. That's where I do all of my scene unloading and loading in. And so even if that part hitches for a little bit, all you're going to see is a black screen for like 1/10 of a second, and then the game's going to be ready. So because they load so fast, making a loading screen per se is overkill, but I do a transition to indicate that something's happening. And even if it takes half a second to load while the screen is black, like it'll just look pretty natural, right? And I don't even know how to implement a loading screen, so I'm glad I don't have to. There's something off about these fire particles, and I think it's because... Why is it? Why is it off? I don't think I want this spread. Okay, getting there. So now I think the challenge is going to be, well, let's just make the animation for what happens when you click it, right? And I wonder if do I want to, what do you guys think? Should I animate these should I animate the other ones while they're not hovered? Like, should they be moving up and down very slightly? Or should they stay static? Like Celeste transition. I don't know. Yeah, probably. I don't know exactly what Celeste's transition is, but... Yeah, that's right, Artindi. That's kind of what I'm getting at. It's like, it's not super necessary, so... Static is better. Any plans for post-release support yet? My goal is to release the game as a completed game, and then, depending on how the game does, we'll see if I keep working on it or not. It's not like, obviously, if I get a lot of sales, and I think I can get more sales by making more content, then I'll probably do that. The plan is to, like, release the game in a complete state, though, so that if I decide to just drop it the next day, it's, you know, the game's done. Shorten the particle lifetime as focus is lost. I can shorten it some more. Bit of movement would look a little bit better, but I mean, it's not necessary. Maybe darken them slightly, although you've got the light too. I think some bobbing might be nice, scaling up and down. Yeah, I already have a darken on what I'm currently doing with the cards. So I could do a darken. I could do that. Let's mess with the fire particles a little bit more. I'll shorten the lifetime even more. Make it look like a raging fire. Maybe that'll look good. Yeah, those die off a little bit quicker. I might also... These are very minor details that I probably shouldn't be focusing on right now, but while I'm in here, I'll just turn down the box extents for the particles. Also get rid of that. There we go. Okay. Cool. Let's do... Okay, so before I do anything with these other ones, let's see if I can make an animation for clicking it and having like a forge sound happen. You know what I mean? Public delegate void selected event handler. So we're going to have a selected event handler. Let's see. Too much animation on screen would steal the focus. This is a fast-paced game. It is a fast-paced game for sure. I think maybe even put the fire below the ingot and just add some colored outline. That could work. Let's do the selection animation, and then we'll go back. Let's get the whole picture in place, and then we'll go back and tweak things as necessary. So, selected event handler. So I want to... Is there a clicked event for this? focus entered, GUI input, mouse entered, mouse exited. So I'm gonna need it probably GUI input, right? GUI input plus equals on GUI input. So on GUI input event, if input event is action, I think I call it click. Oh, click left. Okay, so this is going to be the difficult part. I don't think it'd take focus. You're making a frantic, cartoony game. I think the bouncy and constant movement reinforces those themes. Yeah, I think that's... I'm going to honestly have to play around with it and see what it looks like. My hunch is that you're right, Indy Ramos, but I have to look. I have to see how it will look, you know. Okay, so what should I do when I click this? So I'm thinking of like shaking the screen and playing a big, like, you know, anvil sound or something. I don't want to do something as complicated as what I have. Here, which I did a whole series of tween animations and whatnot where I like, okay, I gotta click and then over here and then it slides down. I'm hoping that I can get away with doing something a little bit simpler here. Faster, bouncier, shakier, always better. Yeah, I think you're right, Smacks, as well. So I'm wondering if I do like a... I know that I want anvil sounds for sure. I don't know, does like bouncing it make sense? Probably not, right? But maybe. So if I click it, I have this passive ingot animator. So I probably want to, in here, public void play selected. Break the ingot with a gun when selected. Oh, interesting. That's an interesting one. Just popped in, really digging the new name. Thank you, Das Chala, appreciate it. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. So I'm going to, let's see, go down to 0.9.9 when I click it over 0.05 seconds, perhaps. Why is this not working? Oh, I'm going to see what it looks like when I bounce it. What in the heck? Why is this not working? Did I do something wrong? Oh, because I imported system numerics on accident. All right, well. And then set ease. Let's go to my easings cheat sheet here. What we got going on over here? So I want to do like a back. Ease out back, I think is what I want. Set ease type dot out set trans type dot back. And we want that to happen over maybe 0.15. I'm just curious to see what happens when I do that. So I'm going to say passive inget animator dot play selected. Any bets on if this is going to look garbanzo or not? Oh, garbanzo confirmed. Let's see. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? My passive ingot selector, passive ingot animator. I think I just need to center the pivot offset there. Or I guess I don't even need to do that, because I can, I can animate this instead. Let's see. How much will Gunforged cost? I don't know. Under $10, I think, for sure. Almost for sure. Okay, so that's centered now. But it looks terrible. Yeah, I don't even know. Maybe back is not the type of transition that I want. This is probably not going to work. Okay, well, that kind of works. I just want something like a little bit of motion for when, you know, I'm thinking maybe like a hammer or something, like bam, bam, you know? Now, I'm curious to see, like, do you think some sort of like flash or something would work? Like, not something super, like super egregious, but I don't know. Again, this is all experimentation, so don't hold it against me. I'm really curious to see what this looks like. So we're going to take that color rect. Ah, dang it. Did I put this in the wrong place? I guess what I have to do is... Oops. I guess it doesn't really matter. Sorry, I keep going back and forth. I don't really know what I'm doing if you haven't figured it out yet. So, passive ingot selector, so I'm going to say flash rect. I don't really feel like writing another tween, so I'm just going to create an animation. Why does animation tree show up first? Animation player, okay. Let's call this flash. We're going to take this flash rectangle, create that. In our reset, I'm actually going to set this down to 0 so it's not visible. Also, I need to set this mouse flag to ignore. Ignore. I hope this isn't too egregious. Something like that is kind of what I was going for. So we'll take this animation player and play flash. flash. Okay. Now, time to see if that looks any good. Sounds are going to make a huge difference with this too. So one problem is I'm not even emitting this selected event. There we go. Okay, let's see if that works. And I wonder if I set... Where did I put that current shake percentage? Oh, it's here, right? Yeah, let's do this. Set the current shake percent up to 1 again. And so it's going to shake when I select something. Bam! 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 See, it's kind of coming together. I don't know if this flash is too egregious, though. Keep using that word egregious. I do not think that means what you think it means. Hello, Sop. Welcome. I don't know, what do you guys think? Welcome to the streams, Sop. Sorry, I didn't finish my statement. What do you guys think? Flash? I mean, obviously this is not the extent of the effects, but... do like an effect like that. The shake is egregious. There's that word again. Flash looks really good. Cool, yeah. So maybe we'll do like a particle effect here too, like a really like, you know, like when cartoons, when you hit something and like white sparks come out of it. If we can do something like that, like on the metal ingot itself, in addition to the flash and the shake, maybe? Need a gunshot on the ingot, yeah. Smoke particles. What if you click it, a lightning strike hits it? Now that is, that is an over-the-top idea. I like it. I like your style. I don't think I'm gonna do the lightning, but I like your style. And welcome to the stream, by the way, Pirate. Good to have you here. Let's try to make that particle then, right? Why not? Let's, should I put the particle on the... So if I do a particle when it's like, when you click it and it hits, if I do that, I would probably want it to be on the ingot, but the problem is you can click outside of the ingot to select it. So maybe I'll just put the flash on the ingot itself. So we've got our ember particles. Let's create another GPU particles. And I wonder if... I'm actually not entirely sure that I'm going to be able to do this well. I've got these particles sharp. Oh, have I been using the wrong... Wait a minute. Okay, never mind. Okay, so we've got our sharp particles, which are just like little, I don't know if you can see that, little lines right here. And I think maybe I can make like an explosive effect with it. I do need to change the position of this though. So, what is it? 75? Yeah, 75 and then 90. So put it right smack dab in the middle. And we'll take the spread, turn it all the way up, rotate Y. Sphere surface 20. We want to turn the explosiveness up quite a bit. Okay, well. Maybe I don't. Well, let's set the initial velocity here and see what happens. I suppose I'll just have to make it a point so that all the particles align properly. I still have no clue what flatness does, so we'll just leave it like that. I think if I play with the scale a little bit, this is going to start looking a little bit nicer. Maybe. Maybe, we'll see. Yeah, I don't think those are big enough, right? Those need to be like chunkier. I don't know, something like that maybe? I can't use a sphere because then it's just... Can I do a ring? Oh, I might be able to do a ring. I don't know how... Okay, no. No. Point it is. Let's see. Flash seems delayed. Sync it with the shake better. Yeah, so I think what you're talking about is... I guess I can just remove this first frame. We'll see how that looks. Let's see. You should make an enemy throwing flashbang projectiles that makes your entire screen an abhorrent white color that burns your retinas in pure agony and makes your ears bleed with its high-pitched sound. Excellent idea. I'm going to write that down. If you want them to be like sparks, then they could fall after the particles appear. That's a good idea. Let's see. Yeah, add some gravity to it. They already do have some gravity, but if I... Do I need to make them longer lived, perhaps? Oh, there we go. So I got kind of an arc to them now. I'm curious to see if what happens if I use like the fire color? So my color initial ramp. Well, obviously I don't want all of those. I don't want all of those colors, so I'm gonna new gradient. We're gonna keep I guess the color picker is broken, so we're gonna keep white. Constant. We're going to go for that really light yellow and put that in there as well. I don't know if that looks any good. Maybe we'll just do a couple of yellow ones in there. Okay, we got to turn those on to one shot as well. Also, I don't want to interpolate these. No, thank you. This is probably going to look a little bit underwhelming, so it's probably going to need some work. Node, private GPU particles, 2D, spark particles. I guess I'll call it spark particles. Make them fiery. I could do that, yeah. Is there not a way to change the color over time? There is, yeah, I could do that. So instead of using the initial ramp, I could instead use this as the color ramp. So I don't know if you can see that pretty well, but they turn to a yellow color afterward, or after a little bit of time. That works. Yeah, I like that. Light orange might work better. Okay, let's try it. I don't really have a super light orange, so maybe this one. Let's give it a shot. It ends up being just a tad too dark, I think, but we'll try it. Why do I use GPU particles instead of regular? Is there a reason to use CPU particles unless you're targeting platforms that don't have GPUs? I think you obviously want to use the GPU particles if you're targeting like a desktop platform or something, right? Because it's more performant. Okay. I need to have a way of calling these now. Public void play spark particles. Spark particles dot emitting equals true. Maybe the orange is a bit dark. Yeah, we'll play with it. We'll see what happens. Now the question is, yeah, okay. Cool. Let's see if that works. Now, why do my particles look different in game than they do in here? That's not good. I'm gonna make these like super much bigger though. Now, what the heck? Yeah, why does it look different? These are like not correct. It looks nice and neat in here, and then it looks like a jumbled mess in the game. That's not good. Also, I think there probably needs to be another... Oh, so many particles. There probably needs to be another particle, like a ring or something underneath it. Spark particles. Yeah, we don't have a lighter orange. Only 64 colors. Is it possible to make them emit from where the cursor was? Yeah, I could do that, but the problem is that I can click anywhere to select it. And so the sparks would be appearing down here if I clicked down here. Now I could change it so you can only click on the ingots, but I don't know, it seems a little bit more responsive to do it this way. I don't know why those particles look so awkward in game. Like they crisscross each other, do you know what I'm saying? Bless you. Cat's just sneezing over there. I just watched Devlog 10. It sounds like you had a gun on your head. Uh-oh. Seriously, an idea for a roguelite part of cards, environment hazards card. Yeah? Yeah, that'd be cool. Thank you all for watching Devlog 10, by the way. That video took me forever to make. Video editing takes a long time. So these particles are looking disappointingly bad in game. What happens if I change the... Well, I'm going to do a couple things. Number one, I'm going to change the lifetime. I'm gonna turn the lifetime down. Turn the lifetime down, and then I'm gonna go and change the color to something else here. Let's try this lighter, orangish yellow. That looks so bad. Why does that happen? What editing software do I use? DaVinci Resolve. I've gotten used to stream speed, and the devlog shocked me with the speed. Yeah, yeah. I speed everything up quite a bit. Stone breaks and it shatters. Could do that. Yeah. I don't want to do something terribly complicated that's going to take me a ton of time. Let's see. Maybe card gun. That's an interesting idea. Yeah, the environment hazards are something that I want to do for sure. Make the spark center on the mouse click, and I bet it will improve a lot. Well, I don't know if you were here when I said that if I click down here, the sparks will, will appear off the ingot, but I can try it. Wherever my sparks are. Why is it not spawning sparks on every click? Because the animation player is 1 second long. That plays the... Or no. Because I have one shot on, and the thing with particle systems is if you turn emitting back on before the one shot cycle is over, the particles won't play again. Which has always been a gripe of mine with Godot. I wish you could just call like a burst on the particles to burst it whenever you wanted to, but it's just a minor quirk of Godot. Spark particles dot global position is equal to spark particles dot get global mouse position. So let's see what that looks like. So I get sparks appearing down here when I click down there. That does look better when you click inside, but when you click outside, like up here. Also, they're annoying me with how crisscrossing they're being. They're not like that in the editor. I mean, whatever, I guess. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. I'm also going to change these ember particles to be a different color as well. I really don't like that yellow color, but it might look better. Okay, well, we can move on from the spark particles. I think it's good enough. I'll probably add, what I want to do is add another set of particles underneath it, like a ring. So I have like a ring of particles going out and then those particles coming out. Anyway, so now we actually have to get these being selected though. So that means that we need to discard all of these. We need to make these ones go away, and this one needs to do something. Maybe I'll just make it hover a little bit. So you click it like that. The selection fades out. These ones maybe shrink out of existence. And then maybe this just hovers here for a little bit before sliding off the screen, right? Something like that. Just something super simple that doesn't require a lot of work to get done. So we'll start on that in a little bit, but I am going to, let's see. Alternative sparks every click maybe spawn each time with click. Could do that, yeah. That the egregious flash seems delayed by a quarter second. It shouldn't be anymore. It's instantaneous now. Maybe it's because it's not fully opaque when it starts. It doesn't start fully opaque. I don't want to be like, you know, I don't want to be like blinding people. That's why I kind of like made it subtle, you know. Hello, Code the Sea-Wing. Cod the Sea-Wing. Welcome to the stream. Welcome back, I think. Yeah, you've been here before. Pretty sure. On click, you should increase the scale of the clicked one, fade the other two out, and slide the one that was clicked to the center. That's what I'm doing currently with the cards, and it's such a pain to manage all of that because they're all UI elements, and there's a little bit of jitteriness and glitchiness. So I'm going to try a little bit more of a simplified version and see if that's satisfying enough. And then if that doesn't work, we can fix it. Yeah, Pirate? Yeah, well, I'm glad you like it. There's still a lot of work to do, but I'm gonna continue this in a few minutes, but I do need to take a small break. So give me like 2 minutes and I'll be right back and we can continue working on this. In the meantime, if any of you haven't wishlisted Gunforged on Steam, would be really appreciated. I would, I would really appreciate it, is what I'm trying to say, if you would do that. And you can also sign up for my newsletter at firebelly.com if you want to get updates about the game to your email as well as on YouTube. So yeah, I'm going to take a 2-minute break and then I'll be back and we will get this screen in a better place. So be right back. Much better. Much better. Thank you everyone for waiting. We're back and we're gonna get to work. All right, let's see what you all have been saying. It should bounce up then fall. On click, I think I read that one. On click, you should increase the scale of the clicked one. Fade the, yeah, I already read that one. What am I making? Let's see. I'm making a player passive selection screen, remaking it, I should say. I'm trying to make it more tactile, more impactful, more fun to use. Trying to make it more brutal with an umlaut, all the good stuff. We can say whatever we want. Well, I can ban you, so... I don't think I've banned anyone from this channel. Who wants to be the first? I need to use my ban hammer authority. But you all are so pleasant that I haven't had to do that yet. Yeah, Pi, your chats are showing up. Yeah, did I miss something? All right. Hey, Troubleshooting, welcome, welcome. All right, let's get started. So what did I say I was going to do? I'm going to click, make the other ones go away. Make them shrink out, perhaps. Shrink away. Yeah, let's do that. So, my passive ingot animator. We're going to play... So we'll play the discard animation. And for that, I think we'll just... var tween equals create tween. We're going to just shrink it out. So tween.tween property. And what am I shrinking out? This scale vector 2.0 duration, maybe 0.3. Set ease type dot out. I think in actually in. And then we're going to set trans tween dot transition type dot back. So on GUI input, I'm emitting the signal selected. I probably want to send. I want to send the selector with it. So actually, I guess I don't really need to do that in here. It's probably better to do it on the screen itself. So what I'll do is I'll edit all of these so that they're Lambda functions that call on selected with passive ingot selector. Yes, this should be a loop for sure. Actually, I am going to use a loop here now. So in my HBox container, I'm going to call this selector container. We're going to mark that as access as unique name. And then in here, node private control selector container. And then in here, for each var child in selector container.getChildren. Come here, children. Control. We're just going to cast those to a control because it doesn't matter. If actually it does matter. Passive ingot selector. If child is not equal to the selector that was selected, we're going to call child.playDiscard. Right. Child.passive ingot animator.playDiscard. Oh, that's going to be unfortunate because those selectors are not going to disappear either. Well, let's see how it looks. You can ban me if you want, bring me back, and I'd be happy to be the first. No, there's no coming back from the ban. The ban is permanent. Non-unknown, what's up with you? Welcome back to the stream. Next area of a game should be a cliff edge where you or enemies can fall off, take damage, and bounce back up. That's a cool idea, yeah. Okay, so you can see... Whoa. So you can see that those have disappeared when I clicked... an option. So that's kind of what I'm going for. Obviously, I need to keep track of the state properly so that I can... So you select one, the other two go away. Yeah, so now it's just about transitioning everything, like just making everything go away, I think. So the one thing that we should do is, so when I call play discard, I think I just want to tween callback this callable dot from, so we'll free it afterwards. And we probably also want to disable particles. Tween callback. Oh. Disable particles. We also want to just disable everything from happening. So we probably want to do something like private void or private bool is dying. Is dying equals true. And I think really all I need to do is in these hover, if is dying, return. So those can't interrupt anything. Okay, and then in our selector, we need to disable mouse inputs. So let's create a public void kill. And do I want to make this async? Probably not. What I'll do is I'll just do get tree create timer, maybe 1 second, dot connect scene tree timer dot signal name dot timeout. Look at all that. All of that just to create a simple timer. SMH my head. Callable dot from, and we'll just do a lambda function which will queue free this. But the reason that we're doing this is because we're going to do the same thing in here. So we're going to say private bool is dying equals true. And then what this means is that we can put these guards in here. So we can't call any more functions if it's dying. Awesome. We also probably want to play hover out to, never mind. Okay, and so in here, what we're going to do is we're going to play discard, and then we're going to also call child dot kill. Ooh, that's not good. Pay no attention to that verbiage. Come here, children. Yeah, fitness guru. You can undo ban, just hit Control Z. Oh, true. Cool effects, thank you. Working on it. It's not done yet, but we're getting there. Can make the ingot turn like yellow, sort of like put the ingot into the player's mold in a way. Yeah, I want to see if I can transition it to a different color as well. Just a matter of figuring out how to make that look good. What's up, Javier? Welcome to the stream. I've seen you do that same timer function a few times in your videos. Any reason you're not making it an extension method? Good question. I think mostly just laziness. It's like, it doesn't quite cross the threshold of something that's annoying enough for me to want to create an extension method of. Because it's like, the only part that I would do really is, I guess I could simplify it like this, right? I could say this dot create timer 1 second, and then here's my lambda function. I could shorten it to that, maybe. And then that under the hood could just do all of this, and then inserting my lambda in here, right? All right, just for the educational purposes of anyone who's unaware of extension functions, let's just go ahead and Let's go ahead and write it in here. I could probably put it into my Godot utilities library, but that's a whole extra set of setup. So what we're going to do is we're going to say public static void, create timer. So extension methods are really cool in C#. Wait, those are not my extensions. Where's my extensions? Right here. So public static void, you can create a function, so in this case called create timer, where if it's a static function and you have this node, for instance, what this is essentially going to do is this is going to make it look like this function exists on every node. So you can just call your own function. It's almost kind of like a way of extending classes without having access to the class implementation. So it's pretty cool. So then we can do like a float duration, or is it double duration? I don't care. Float duration, and then callable. And then exactly what Chendrak said is to basically just do this. So you say you take that node, you call get tree, you call create timer, you pass in your arguments, your duration here, and then we can connect to that scene tree timer dot signal name dot timeout, and then pass in your callable. And so now that that's written, what I can do is go over here, and I already have this create timer. So check that out. So that whole line now becomes that. Done. This create timer for 1 second, and then this is what happens when the timer runs out. That looks much cleaner. Thank you for the suggestion, Chendrak. Also, I'm glad that you could catch the stream live as well. Okay, so with that minor educational detour out of the way, what can we do? So we're killing the children. And then let's see if that looks any good. Oof, that's not good. So what's happening here is I'm killing those passive ingot selectors, but then since they're disappearing, this ingot selector is then expanding to fill the rest of the screen. This is the problem with animating UI. It's like you have to account for all these different scenarios. So I think the way to avoid this is to be lazy and to not actually free it. Maybe I don't even need to free it. Maybe I can just, maybe I created the timer extension for nothing, but let's see. I might not even need to free it, honestly. Yeah, so those selectors are still here, but I can't do anything with them. So now we got to figure out what to do with this guy over here. No, the children. Wholesome. Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's just programming talk. I mean, I'm not, that's, parent, children, grandchildren. You could kill all the ancestors. Could kill all the descendants. You could destroy entire bloodlines. Just programming. Completely innocent. So I guess I don't really want to queue free those after all. I'm going to change this to is locked, because I think what I'm going to do is just lock it. And so I'm curious to see what this will look like. Maybe I don't want to do that. I can't make up my mind. Sorry, I need to see this again. All logic and no feeling. Is there anything you can't kill? No. I don't think so. So what do I want to do? So I want to make, so I do want to make, so actually I want to lock everything. So I want to kill that, but first, if child is equal to selector, what I want to do is I want to play mouse. Actually, I can probably just call that on everything. So child dot play dot passive inget animator play hover out. So I'm going to make that yellow highlight go away, going to kill it, and then play the discard for the other ones. Why did that not work? Oh, I'm not calling... Okay. I'm just going to cheat here and call on mouse exited here. The reason is because the mouse exit function is essentially resetting it to the default state of how it should be presented. So if I click this, why is that not disappearing? Hello? What's going on here? So I'm calling child.kill. It's calling on mouse exited. Oh. Logic is the problem. My puny brain is incapable of comprehending basic if statements. Okay, so that looks much better. The only thing is I want to call enable particles again. Okay, this is getting really messy really quick again, but I don't care. YOLO. Future me is not going to regret the spaghettiness at all. Okay, so that's basically what I wanted to do. So I wanted to keep the particles playing, make everything else disappear. I can't interact with this screen anymore, which is good. So I've basically locked in the choice, can't accept any more mouse events. And now we want to make that passive ingot animator we want to give it an animation that means that it's being collected, right? I could turn visible off instead of queue free. Yeah, I could. I mean, it's just it's no different if I turn it visibility off versus leaving it there with nothing in it. With some control nodes, they're clickable even when they're invisible. That is true. You'd have to turn off mouse detection. I believe that is true unless they have a container which shrinks them to basically being 0 width, I think. Can you make the ingot drop down and lava fill the screen? And interesting. Ah, Studio Mercy, my bone familia. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Bet your bones I wish listed. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. So yeah, I'm going to make the ingot drop down COD for sure. As far as the additional effects, we'll figure it out. Lava is an interesting one. I think you are being very generous in your estimation of my abilities to create something that looks like lava. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So we're going to call play collect. Somebody said to bring it up first, right? So let me check this. Passive ingot animator. Yeah. So we're going to take the position. We're going to take... Oh. I want to animate the passive ingot. Vector2.up times 10. I'm just going to set it to a really long duration so I can see what's happening. Passive ingot position vector2.down times 200. Okay, let's see what that looks like. I mean, this is not super spaghetti, is what I'm gonna tell myself when I'm trying to sleep at night. Or fire. Yeah, fire could work. Okay, why are those not moving with it? Probably because they're not children of that. Oh, man. So I'm moving the passive ingot down, but that means that the particles aren't going with it. And the reason I'm not animating this node, the passive ingot animator, is because then I have to get into keeping track of what the position is. Because if I look at this screen here, is there a reason this reset animation isn't playing? So if I look at the screen, so the passive ingot selector, if I go to my editable children, the passive ingot animator actually has a position that's not zeroed out, right? And so if I were to animate the animator itself, so in here, instead of animating that child, if I animated this, I would have to, in here, get the current position, then add vector2.up to it, and then like go down from the current position, which maybe actually isn't that big of a deal, but I had a bunch of problems with that when I was doing the card animations. Like I had all of these positions being stored everywhere because I needed to like keep them in their place, but perhaps that's not necessary. What I can do is I can say var start position is equal to position this. Watch, I made a big deal about that and now it's going to be fine. I just prefer if I can just do things as simply as possible when animating UI. Provide the least amount of room for error when doing UI animations because they are very, very finicky. And so the simpler you can make it in terms of animation, I think the more likely you are to avoid a lot of the weirdness. But we'll see. Okay, so we've got something in place. Obviously not perfect, but how do you get your curly brackets on a new line automatically? It's just VS Code. You can configure various languages to auto format on save. So as soon as I save the file, it fixes everything that's wrong with it, basically. It's nice because it enforces a single code standard too. So like I work in a team for my job and we do front-end development, and we have a series of configurations that specify exactly how the code looks. And so whenever any of us saves our files, it formats it and adheres it to that standard. And so all of our code matches across our entire code base. It's pretty nice. So, okay, so now we can play around with these numbers a little bit. So I am going to do this. So set ease type. I'm trying to remember the ease types without referencing it. I think I want out so that it slows. It starts slow and speeds up, and then set transition between that transition type dot what? Cubic perhaps. So let's take a look at that. See how that looks. Oh. Okay. That was a little fast. Jeepers. Why is it being so... Maybe I want in? It's getting there, COD. Yeah, it's getting there. There we go. I probably do want to disable the particles as well. So in here, tween callback, this, nope, callable.from disable particles. Let's try that. And then we're gonna set the transition type here. Let's try out. Perfect. So yeah, look at that. So we've got a nice little smooth animation here. Just going up a little bit. I might even increase the amount it goes up. Get a nice little wind up. Probably want to do a scale. I think Light, you suggested doing a scale as well. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. I might increase that just a little bit. Where did I learn to code? Just basically self-taught. I've been programming since I was a young teenager, since I was like 14. I'm 28 now. And so it's just been like a constant part of what I've done since the age of 14. Started off doing websites, making little websites for myself, goofing off like that. Also worked with Game Maker. Anyone remember Game Maker 8, I think it was? I spent a lot of time in Game Maker 8 on the yo-yo games like Sandbox 2, playing other people's games. And I just did it so often over the course of, you know, what, 14 years now? That I just kind of like, you know, just learned by doing that. Okay, let's check this out. Yeah, the best way to learn, I think, is trial by fire. Decide on something that you want to build and just try to figure out how to build it. That's always the way that I've learned really quickly. I started out, like when I learned programming, I was like, I want to learn how to make games. And so honestly, actually the first thing I did, I don't know if anyone else has had this experience. I came across a YouTube video back in like, I don't know, like 2007 or something like that, where a guy had made a game in the Windows command prompt, right? He wrote a batch file that made a game, and I was like, what? I can do that? And then this was before I knew about like all the tooling you could install to get all your programming languages set up and like IDEs. I was just amazed that you could just boot up Notepad, write a program in that, and then have it run a game. And so I started off with that, and then I think from there I discovered, you know, people making games in Game Maker on YouTube, and so I downloaded that, and then I learned that. That's how I kind of fell into it. But yeah, trial by fire. Figure out something that you want to make and see if you can make it. And just look up things as you need them. Start making games you know, such as Mario on. Yeah, you could do that for sure, yeah. So this is coming from a Udemy course instructor. I have a Udemy course, which many of you are aware of. You want to be very careful when you're following a course or tutorial not to just write the code without thinking about it, right? Ironically, I actually don't think, following courses and tutorials by just like emulating what the professor is doing or the instructor is not the best way for me to learn. I have to try to make it myself and then figure out how to accomplish my goals, and I'll only look up a tutorial for very specific things that I need to learn. So yeah, trial by fire. That's my motto, trial by fire. Just try to do something. Throw yourself in the deep end. It's going to be overwhelming, but you'll make a surprising amount of progress, I think. Hey, Fitness Guru. Teenager here learning to code. Right now, making first game as I'm watching your stream. Awesome, yeah, that's the way to do it. All right. Cool, so we've got something. Do we need to add rotation or anything to it, or scale? I'm wondering if there should be a scale or something. So if I play collect, if I do var scale tween is equal to create tween, tween.tween property, this scale vector 2.1 times 1.2, 0.2, and then we'll scale it back to vector 2.1. I'm just curious to see what that looks like. Got to use the right variable. Interesting start with game dev, making games with CMD. Yeah, I mean, you can imagine how over my head I was. I mean, I would never like. Maybe I'll do that. That would be a fun YouTube video. Maybe I'll do that. Would you guys be interested in me doing a video on making a game in the command prompt? Making a game in the command prompt in 24 hours. I was really impressed because one guy on YouTube made Hangman in the command prompt, and I was like blown away. And he shared the code, and I was like, 15 or something. And I looked at the code, and I was just like completely lost. It was, and I'm sure it had all this like hacky workaround stuff in it. It was pretty funny. When I teach people stuff, I don't let them have access to the code. I only show them the logic and some syntax. That way they're forced to type it all themselves. That's a good strat. I had a lot of professors in college. I did go to college, but I wouldn't say I learned much there because I was already pretty experienced, but I learned some stuff. But yeah, the professors I had didn't really share explicit code examples. I agree. Artindi needs to make a Udemy course. That would be so cool. Cool. Yeah, maybe I'll do that as a video. I didn't even know it was possible. Yeah, it is. It's crazy. All right, let's see if that scale works. Come on, scale. Okay, I think that's looking okay. I keep forgetting what the difference between out and in is. Let's see. So I want it to scale up really quick, slow down, and then speed up. So I want out. So I want out here. And then I think I want in on the out, on the return to the vector 2.1, if that makes sense. So when it returns back to its normal 1 scale. Okay, maybe not cubic though, maybe sine. That's kind of cool. That is one juicy UI. Yeah, it's turning out okay. It's turning out good. What did I go for college for? I went for video game development, video game programming specifically. Ease, then the point where it should start. Slow, ease in, slow first. Yeah, I don't know if I understand exactly what you're saying. I think I got it. I think I understand. So maybe I'll actually so this takes 0.6 seconds. I'll do 0.3 seconds for each of those. I'm just fiddling over exact numbers now, which is not the most important thing to be doing right now. Okay, that looks fine. So, that's basically working. So now the tricky part is going to come. So that is being freed. Why is that being freed? Do I have a queue free in here somewhere? Oh, you know what? I think... So the particles are just suddenly disappearing. And I think it's because the visible area of the particles is not... is not big enough. So I'm just going to crank that number, wherever that number is. Visibility rect, negative 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Oh, I need to make this 2,000, right? Okay, I don't know if this rectangle is being drawn correctly. Oh, and also those are the wrong particles. Cool. Let's copy the value of this visibility rect and just paste it in here. There we go. So that should prevent the particles from stopping to be rendered, I think. Yeah, okay. Perfect. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to commit what I have right now because that is a mighty amount of changes to go without committing. And you never know what might happen. Cat might knock some Kool-Aid down into your computer and then, you know, there goes all that work. Then you'd really be sick of game dev. I think that would probably kill Gunforged right there. Okay, so let's commit this. Start work on new passive select screen. Perfect. This is going to be awesome when we add sound effects. Yeah, I think sound effects are going to be like 50% of this screen. Honestly, I think so. For the cliff edge map, you can make birds that fly over the cliff and swoop down like in a dash attack. That's an interesting idea, yeah. Yeah, I gotta experiment more with like having entities and enemies that can fly over those gaps. You saw like in the devlog that I published today, those bug bullets that can fly over terrain. I want to do more stuff like that for sure. How did he get the Kool-Aid and why is he drinking it? And is he sharing? Ridiculous. It's a good way to give your cats diabetes. Feed them Kool-Aid. All right. So I'm going to see if adding the banner. So if I go to my passive select card, so there's a banner here with the title. I want to see if this will look good if I add it. If I add it to the ingot. And my bet is that it's going to look kind of weird. It's not aligned properly, but let's just see what it looks like. Maybe I'll fix it just to see. So this banner container, it's the banner panel container in my theme. So I need to go to my theme and edit this banner. Say that 5 times fast. Banner panel container, banner panel container. Banner panel container. All right. So yeah, my style box texture. So my margins here, I think I need to change the expand margin. Okay, so it's just not updating. So I got that side correct, and then I need to, how many more do I need to do on this side? Let's see. 7 pixels on the right, so 19. Ah, I was off by 1. Gee, dang it. Cool. Okay, so now it properly wraps around. I might have to redo that art too, because this side is awkward here, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Does that work for the title? To have like this banner wrapping around it, does that work or does it need to change? It's more or less what I have for the cards here. As I flip through all of my scenes trying to find the cards. There we go. Ah. Passive card. So this is a card, right? And then this is the ingot. So basically same colors. Ingot looks a little bit more metallic though. Any thoughts? Banner is too thick. Pirate says, hell yeah, that works. Got to go now. All right, thanks for joining the stream, Artindi. Glad to see ya. So the banner is too thick. That's one. Can you inlay the title in the ingot? I could. I don't know. I kind of want to use a bolder color to really emphasize the title. I mean, I could, so I could take this. Oops. Get rid of this banner container. I probably want to do like a VBox container in here. So I could try to change the color of this outline. Let's see, let's give it a good shot. So I'm going to take this color for the text, and then maybe, honestly don't know how to make it look like it's embedded in a nice way. Oh, whoops. So I could make it look kind of like that, maybe. Maybe that's not quite... Maybe that's not quite the color to use. So I could do something like that, maybe. The right side of the wrapper is going to the wrong side. But the wrapper was cool. Yeah, I would have to edit this so that it cuts off like right here, right? So it cuts off right here, and then it starts wrapping around at that point, right? I have to make sure that I'm not using the banner anywhere else, but wrapper was cool. I think the big banner doesn't feel right with the more realistic design, so we're getting mixed opinions. Yeah, that's my main concern, is like making sure that the title of the passive is easily recognizable, so that after you've played the game for a bit, you kind of already know just based on the title alone what you want. So that's kind of my main concern. I mean, I could potentially move the banner up to the top so it's not like wrapped around the middle section. Can I move it? Let's see. It's been almost 3 hours. Has it really? Yeah, wow. We're still going. People will memorize the titles, yeah. You could have like a darker rectangle at the top with the text at a slightly lighter color to make it look like it was stamped into the metal. That's an idea. That's an idea. I think maybe it would be nicer to add an image to each passive. Yeah, my friend said that as well, images. It's just like, my ambitious goal is to have 100 different passives on release, and I just don't know if I want to draw 100 different icons. Text outline could be a darker color for more readability. With the banner or with the other proposed solution? Make symbols, yeah, symbols. I don't want to do symbols though. I really don't. That'd be so much work. Banner, okay. Let me see. So you guys want to know a trick? You can add another like margin container, and then you can give negative margins to the margin container. Oops. Ah, dang it. So I can put it at like the top. I don't even know if that looks good, but give it a little hat. Or potentially, you know, it doesn't have to wrap around the ingot. It could. It could... Let's see. Sorry, what am I even saying? Let me figure out if I can get this around the bottom here. Size flag, shrink end. There we go. Margin container, margin bottom. There we go. So I could also do something like this. I don't know if I like that or not, but make it wrap around the bottom more so it's kind of like... I don't know. Let's see what you all are saying. Little pixel art symbols can't be too hard. Not individually, but if there's 100 of them. I was going to try for 100 player passives alone. The icons could reference the type of upgrade such as damage, red icon, or banner color. That is an interesting idea. The problem is that a lot of passives can't like be explicitly categorized, I don't think. No hat. When I get stuck like this, I usually seek reference Pinterest, ArtStation. Yeah, that's a good call, yeah. Ingrained letters might look better than a banner. Top is better because that's what they read first. I agree with light. Godot's workflow is much different than Unity. I tried Godot before settling with Unity, but it's really nice seeing a professional work with Godot. Well, thank you for calling me a professional. Yeah, it's you know, it's like anything. You just gotta work with it enough, and I've been working with Godot since 3.0 alpha, so I'm pretty familiar with it and all of its quirks. I feel like the banner is a not good. Trello board video did ingrained letters in stone and it looked really good. Cool. You may not be able to post links in chat. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you can. So if I don't respond to your link, it's because I probably didn't see it. What to do? So I've got a bunch of mixed opinions. A lot of people saying do icons. A lot of people saying do ingrained or embossed letters, which we could try. See if I can just throw something together real quick for that. So that's not big enough. I might have to edit some of the positioning of everything. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix... that's not looking... Let's see. I think I need to bring this in more. Whoops. Bring it in more from the sides here. Or I suppose I could just use a different panel container. Maybe that's the better strategy. Yeah, I wonder if I should just... Let's get rid of this. Instead of trying to do everything... Instead of just trying to do everything all in the same place, I will... Okay, we're gonna get rid of that symmetrical. I'll just make the panel container here just its own thing. Just like that. Okay, so that looks a little bit cleaner now. Okay. And then what I can do in here is I'm going to get rid of this freaking margin container. Hide the banner container. Oh, you know what I just realized too? I think I might have screwed up all the other things that use banners in this game by changing the banner. I wonder if I should just undo that right now. So let me do that before I forget and then wondering why it's all offset. Dang it. I think I need to restart Godot to discard those changes. Discard the theme changes, bring it back. All right, let's see. How are you resizing only part of that image? I constantly remade my images in multiple sizes. I think what you're referring to... what you're referring to is the 9 slice, right? So if I go to my theme... Well, if I go to passive ingot here. So if I go to my panel container, I have the style box texture. So you create a style box texture, and then you can put your texture in there, and then click Edit Region. And this Edit Region button brings this up, which is your 9 slice. And basically what this does is, or it's called 9 patch as well. But basically what this does is it makes it so that you can define your corners and your sides and your middle, and then those can all scale independently. So what typically happens is that the corners stay exactly as they are, and then the sides will stretch or tile depending on how high it is. Same for the bottom and for the top. They will stretch or tile depending on how wide. And then the middle part will be used to fill in the center of the gap. So this is basically a way of creating like infinitely scalable UI elements, but keep them all like the same, you know, scale, right? Gotcha. Cool. Yeah. Let's see. YouTube has no workarounds for sharing. That's unfortunate. I don't know. I don't think I can enable link sharing either. I looked or a couple streams ago and I couldn't find it. How many power-ups items are you planning to add? You can make item power-ups have a silhouette-like sprite behind the explanation text. Yeah, so I'm thinking 100. My ambition is 100 player passives and probably a similar amount of gun passives. We'll see if I get there. I think I have like 15 or so. Maybe that's too high. You got an email. Yeah, you can send it to admin@firebelly.com. I'll just put it in the chat. You can send an email there and I'll get it. And then I can take a look at your link. Yeah, it's like I'm trying to, like, I want to get this game done, obviously. And to the extent that I have to spend time on stuff, I'd rather spend time on making all of the passives than, you know, drawing them. But I'm getting that feedback a lot, so maybe I'm going to have to reevaluate what I'm thinking there. So let's try this. So we're going to do panel container, theme type variation. Got alternate, banner panel container, card panel container, dark panel container, tab panel container. What the heck? All right, I'm just gonna do, man. Trying to figure out how to do like this embossing in a sensible manner. Okay, so let's create a new style box texture here. I'm gonna drag in that emboss rect. Edit region. Can't zoom in any more than that. Oh my goodness. Did I do it? Okay, there we go. So now I've got this, and I can just change the custom minimum size here. So let's bring this up. So I could do the title in here, right? Figure out what color to make the text. Something like that. I don't know. Just joined. Which tool is that? This one? This is a sprite. And welcome to the stream, by the way, Everone. Let's see. So let's see. Maybe I can edit this now. So my background label can have a lighter color, I believe, is what somebody said. Or that would be the text color probably, right? So I would... Yeah. And then my background label would probably be slightly darker. I just don't know how to get a good embossing effect. I don't know how to make it look like it's stamped into the metal. Like, those ideas are cool, but I have to work within what I can actually do based on my skill level. Could try to make the outline darker. Also, what's challenging is that I'm only working with 64 colors, as many of you know already, so it can be difficult sometimes to get things looking the way that I want them to look. Passive selection screen new. So what does that look like? I don't like how monochrome it is either. That's the thing. Like, the nice thing about that orange banner is that it adds a lot of color to that screen. I'm just messing with colors now. Let's see. Got my name right too. Thank you. Thank you, Everone. And when the stream's over, you could check out Gunforged Devlog number 10 if you haven't already. That'd be very nice. A little shading under the text. Well, again, I don't have that much control over the text. Like, the text is dynamic, and so if I was going to want to do shading under the text, I would have to write a shader that could do the shading. Let's see. Oh, that's what you meant by your last message. What? Highlights around the rim on the right side and slightly darker on the left side. It should make it look indented. Yeah, I can try that. Let's see. I had an idea, but I'm struggling to explain it. Well, let me know if you wow, I don't even know what I'm saying now. I can't even explain what I'm trying to say. Let me know if you can state the idea. Interested in hearing it. Talking about the image I sent. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so you've got the highlights around. So that looks like it's coming out rather than going in, right? But I think TC Sketches had an idea here, which is to make it highlighted on the outside. And then darker on the inside. I might have to increase the size of this thing as well. Yeah, I'm gonna have to increase the size of this thing. Sprite, canvas size. I don't know if that's going to work. Maybe I'll just save that. I know I just resized it, but sprite trim. Oh, right. So I think I need to do on the top too, right? I think I need to do on the top. Can the outline have like a gradient color to make it look like it's shaded? No. The outline shader I'm using doesn't do gradients. I mean, I could try to figure out how to do a gradient myself, but... What's up, Sammy? Tim? Welcome, welcome. Be nice if this ingot box was just for the description and it had like another block with a different color above it with a passive name. The stream is calm and I'm glad. Well, I could, you know, that's kind of what I was suggesting with the banner. So move the banner... Ah, gee dang it. Move the banner up. Not right there, but... If I take this and add a negative margin in the top... You know, something like that. But I think the consensus, or there's like mixed opinions on the banner. Oops. So like I could do it like that, you know. Can make the text the same color as the ingot in that little embossed box, yeah. Make the highlight match the one you already have for the main ingot. I believe it was, but I'll take a look. Make the shadow a little bit thicker. So let's see. Sprite, canvas size. Let's do let's just make this bigger so I can actually see what I'm doing. Okay. And you know what I'm going to do? Maybe I'll even go bigger. So we'll go bigger, take the color of the ingot, which I believe is that color. Yeah. Okay, so now I can kind of see what this is going to look like. Okay, so got the highlight. So let's try this. Put some breaks in here. Do some white highlights as well. Okay. And then darker. Around the sides. Wait a minute. Like that? Does that look embossed? I don't think so. I think I'm doing it wrong still. Let's see. When I'm at my computer, I might make a concept and recommend things. I know other people have mentioned this already, but a Discord server would be cool. Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten that a few times, but yeah, I just don't have the time. Make the highlight match. So I don't know. I mean, the highlight looks okay in this version, I think. I guess I don't really know if that middle color looks good. Let's see. Embossed metal pixel art. Well, that wasn't helpful. I'm just pulling it up off screen real quick. Getting like no results for embossed metal. Let's try engraved metal. Okay, yeah, that's like not... Well, we can look at other metal here. Got some ores. Nice. There's like nothing here. That's not metal. Oh, metal slug 3. Okay. Is it supposed to be sticking out or in? It's supposed to be stamped in. Yeah, there's like, I don't know. I don't even know what to search. I guess I could search like engraved metal. What is this meant to be? It's meant to be like like a metal slab or like an iron ingot or something. Hard rock metal. Yeah, me too. Hello, Zane. Welcome, welcome. Why is this not loading? Hello? Thank you. It looks like it's sticking out right now. Yeah, it does. So that's not... No, I want embossed. Let's see. We'll figure it out eventually. So yeah, it's like supposed to be dark on the sides and light on the tops. I just don't know if like... Yeah, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I've got the highlight here, and I've got the dark here, and it doesn't look right. Just put a lighter gray sheen over a part of it and give it some darker texturing. What am I going to teach us in this video? Well, apparently nothing. Should be a shadow on the right and top, next to the highlight. So there needs to be a shadow here. Is that too dark? Or did I get it wrong? Make the top thicker. I don't know if this is gonna work. No. Alright, this is not working. I cannot follow text-based instructions for drawing something, so we're scrapping this. Too much time. We're going to... figure out something else. Could just throw the text in there for now and figure out what to do with that later. Because I still have a bunch of other stuff that I need to do with this. So... yeah, it was worth a shot. I appreciate the help, but I just can't... I can't draw by following text-based instructions. Mention... Oh, yeah, update the back screen. Yeah, like the blurred part. That's a good idea. To include the stream wish list. Possibly chat. Yeah. No, I'm going to be continuing on with Godot right here. Zane. I got a couple more things that I want to do here. You emailed an image of something that might work. Let's take a look. Oh, and we got one from Clankfish as well. Try not to dox your emails on the stream. So we got this for like the banner, which is a little bit more flowing. Kind of like that. What do you guys think about that? So instead of having like a straight banner, make it look more like it's flowing around the ingot. What do you guys think about that? It's kind of what I wanted to do, but it's more elegant, right? Open image in a new tab, and then we have this one from, I don't know who sent this one in. So, okay, so yeah, we got a little bit more of embossing right there. I can't zoom in too far. Let's see. So we've got that, and we've got that. That's cool, decent. Waving banner is cool. Good, good, good. Nice, but I don't care if it fits with ingots. I like it a lot. Well, maybe I'll give that a shot. Who sent this one in? Oh, Derpy Ninja Frog. Thank you, thank you. So we've got that. So, okay. Let's, all right, let's give it one more shot following what Derpy Ninja Frog, with the best name ever, following what Derpy Ninja Frog showed. So we've got highlights here and then darkness here. Is that going to work? Let's see. Load default palette. And now I have been outed as being only able to do art by copying things. I think that's honestly probably most people, right? Got to use references. So let's see. Okay. Where am I going? Where am I at? Okay, here we go. Okay, so got something working here. It's not quite perfect, but I just want to see what this will look like in game. So I got the emboss rect here. Let's go to my passive ingot. There we go. So let's go back into the texture here. Edit this region. Stretch it out. Ah, that's so annoying. Hey, Godot devs, don't make the rectangle change when I'm not clicking one of the orange things. Oh my goodness. Okay. If I miss, watch this. Look at how annoying this is. If I miss a line, if I miss one of these guidelines, and I click over here, oh no, it undoes everything. Thankfully, it's pretty easy to just go back in here and just do that, but... Oh, there it goes again. Okay, be very careful. Okay. How's that? Alright, let's see if that works. Okay. You have just to ignore the banners. Actually, I can go in here and go. How's that? Does that look embossed now? What do y'all think? The shadow is going under the highlight. Yours is connecting with it. Connecting with it. Let's see. Shadow is going under the highlight. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Like that? I'm getting lost here. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, what do y'all think? Better. Cool. Well, we'll keep it for now. I'm going to experiment with the ribbon idea that Clank sent. Clankfish? Yeah, I'm probably going to try that idea later, but we're going to keep this for now. There's obviously more work that can be done here, like I can add little highlights like that. Yeah. Cool. So what do I need to do? So basically I need to actually have these rendered text now, right? Lower the saturation of the ingrained part. I don't think I have an option for that. I don't have like a lighter color than that. Unless I use something like this. Which looks more yellowy. Little texture in the middle part and maybe more thickness, both highlights and shadows, but for now it looks good. Cool, yeah, we'll keep it for now. I'm gonna spend more time on that tonight, probably. Just fiddling with it, trying to get it working, but cool. All right, keep it for now. Oh, no worries. Yeah, thank you for the suggestion, though. Okay, let's commit this, and we're gonna call it a great pixel art ordeal. So we'll commit that. So now let's actually get this working. Let's actually get this working. Well, there's a couple of things I need to do. First, I need to put text in here. So passive ingot. The box container, we got this panel container here. We'll get this out of here. Get you out of here. And then add child node outline label. Do you like my placeholder text? This is a passive that does something. And this needs to auto wrap on. What? What is going on? Okay, hold on. All right, there we go. And what else? Epic placeholder text, yeah. I need to give this a separation of 16 or 8, perhaps. This should actually be based on word, right? Word smart? I don't know what the difference between word and word smart is. This is a passive that does something, and if you do something else, then it does something. Cool. All right, so the text color. We're going to take this as the text color, I think. And then for the outline, probably this. That's not going to work. I need to change the modulate. That's probably not dark enough, huh? Oh no. That is like super messed up. Oh, now it's fixed. I didn't even do anything. Okay. Didn't get a chance to say this earlier, but maybe pictures for the passives could come as an update after you release the game. Yeah, that's a possibility. You can add outlines to labels with the label settings resource. Yeah, but it doesn't do solid outlines. The font outline is like really ugly. It does like semi-transparent pixels and stuff. So I have to use an outline shader. I don't know why this isn't working. Watch, I'll show you. So if I do outline label, outline size 1, and then I change the outline color to black, see? It's ugly. You can make the text look ingrained by just turning off the bottom and right side of the outline. I don't have an option to do that with my outline shader. I don't know why this isn't working, yeah. I don't know, yeah, I don't know why it's getting like all wacky. I really don't understand that. Curious to see what happens if I use a white outline. Oops, wrong. Nope. Well, that sucks. Why is this not working? It's like it's offset incorrectly. Does Godot help with your game? I don't know that it helps necessarily. There's a couple new features that I wanted, like lighting improvements that were helpful. But generally speaking, it's pretty much the same as it was in Godot 3. Oh, I'm changing the wrong one. So the background label is larger than this label. Why is that happening? I don't know why these won't stay the same size. That's bizarre. Huh. What is going on? I don't know what's going on here. Oh boy. Well, I guess it's that time of day where I get stuck. I can do no outline, yeah. I could just leave it like that for now. Okay, well, it's getting there. All right, let's just write the code and see if we can get this working pretty quick. This is not complete, this screen, but we will figure that out later. On-clicked, set passives. So basically, I just need to copy this, and I'm going to take that, let's see. Yeah, so basically in here, What do I need? I need this passive selected signal. Ended event handler. Oh, I see. So basically, I'm just going to rip out everything that I need so I can pretty much just one-to-one replace it. So we've got passive selected handler, resource preloader. I don't need any of that. I do need this set passives. Might as well copy this. Okay. So basically, just copy those public methods. So just update the imports here. Cool, cool. Get rid of this ready method. Set passives. Cool, cool. Card position. I don't need any of that code. Ah, dang it. I'm going to have to iterate over the children now. Child in. Selector container dot get children. Passive ingot selector. I'm going to try to get this done before I completely run out of steam. Let's go. Get children passive ingot selector. Okay, so we iterate over all of those. Do another loop. I know this is not great. Child.modulate is equal to colors transparent. Okay. So we'll replace all those with proper code. And then this is our await here. Might have to do something with this later as well. Set passives. Selector container, get child. We're going to get the child at the index. Passive ingot selector, I. Oh, I have to set the passive definition, don't I? So where's my passive ingot at? Passive ingot, where are you? Oh, do I not have... I don't have a script for that. Oh, very interesting. Okay, well, we'll do a script. Game.ui.passive. Let's see. Make the yellow fade after the boxes be the fuse. Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah. Hi, I stumbled upon your channel. I love your game and art style. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lazar. Blubbers, 3 hours, good God. Yeah, we're going. We are going. I'm not even tired yet. That's a lie. I'm actually pretty tired, but I want to get this done. Set passive definition, player passive definition. So I have my outline label. I'm gonna call this title label. Title label and description label. Node, private title label. Title label, private description label. Oh, wait, what am I doing? These need to be outline label. Okay. So we've got set passive definition, that's good. So selector container, get child. So we're gonna grab that. Ingot selector dot selected plus equals what is this saying? On clicked. Passive selected, yeah. So in here, I guess I can just do passives. Excellent. So we're going to emit the signal when we select passive selected passive. Selected card, so ingot selector dot passive ingot animator we got to make this public now, so get private set public. Okay, and then in here ingot selector dot ingot passive ingot animator dot passive ingot, a whole long string of whatever, but here we go. Perfect. And then on selected, that's fine. Oh wait, I already have an on selected here. Maybe I'll just put the passive in here. Player, passive definition, passive. And in here I can do let's see. Passive on, what am I doing? Right here. On selected, ingot selector, passive. All right, that should do it. Awesome. What else do I need in here? I need to emit this signal name ended. So perhaps what I'll do is I'll make this an async. Await this dot timer 2f, and then we'll emit that. Okay. So we're basically almost there. Let's see. Do you have a demo for the game? Not yet. No demo yet. Make the game playable again so you can work on something else, more fun. Yeah, I mean, the game's playable right now. I've been doing all this UI stuff in complete isolation, so I could start up the game and play it right now if I wanted to. What will be the price for the game? Something under $10 most likely. And what keyboard do I have? The keyboard is a Leopold 60% keyboard. I don't know exactly what the model is. Brown switches, I believe. Hey, TC Sketches, thanks so much. Glad to have you, and yeah, have a good evening. What's up, Cheesem? So, if I'm not mistaken, passive reward selection screen. So I'm going to replace this with I think I can just straight up replace this class. Oh wait, this is not new, this is ended. On passive chosen. Okay, sorry for just 1 second here. Just got to figure out where all my types are. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. So I literally just replaced it, so I need to go to my Wave Rewards Manager. Wave Rewards Manager, and this is the moment of truth. We're going to see if this worked. Just a drag and drop replacement. Oh, I should turn on debug mode. Dungeon, arena, and den. Turn on debug mode so we don't have to kill a bunch of enemies to get to the testing point. What am I working on right now? Still the UI. Let's see if it works. I don't think it worked. Why did it not work? Okay, so number one, I want to get rid of this color rectangle. Oh, this has to be child, yeah, same issue as before. Child passive ingot animator. Okay, let's try it again. Die! Oh, that's not good. Why did that happen? I did get a passive out of that. Why did that happen, though? Is there any errors here? Object reference not set to an... Oh, that's not relevant. Why did that not work? Why didn't that work? Why did that not work? Well, I guess I'll run the game and check out the remote scene tree and see what happens. Effects on the cards are really juicy. Thank you. Yeah, they all fell at the same point exactly. So I'm gonna see. Ah, I ruined it. So let me put the game here. I basically need to go to the remote scene tree and figure out what's going on. So they're all falling in the same spot. So I'm gonna go to my remote scene tree and just see what's up here. So, I don't even remember where this goes. Maybe it goes in here. Yeah. Passive reward selection screen. Here it is. So my container, it doesn't look like it's expanding in the horizontal. And these are all in the same position, I think. No, they're not. Why are they all being animated on the same place then? Why are they all being animated in the same place? If I run this just by itself, is this gonna break? Oh, it is broken. Okay, so it's actually just a problem. Probably a translation problem from when I refactored a bunch of things. Let's go back in time. Selected passive ingot animator dot play in. Oh, I guess I don't need these anymore. So I don't need to grab these by unique names anymore, so that's good. Ah. Well, there we go. It was just calling the same one over and over again. That's why it wasn't working. Now we should be good. Hello. I don't know how to say your name. Afrasib? Afrasiab? Welcome to the most cozy stream of all time. It is the most cozy stream of all time. Boom, there we go. So I obviously need to disable selecting those. So let's see if this works. So increased health. Perfect. Okay, so there's just one more thing I want to do, which is turn this time down. Boom. Okay, let's see. Deft reload. Let's do all clear and see if that one works. And we have to redo that screen too. There we go. All clear works and bam. Perfect. That's basically working. Let's see it again. Let's see. Guillermo, if I'm saying that right, Guillermo Costa. There we go. So yeah, look at that. Still some work to do on that screen, but it's basically working. So you sent me an email here. Let's see. Thank you all for the emails, by the way. That's super helpful. Sorry. I just accidentally deleted. I just accidentally deleted some stuff in my email. So let's take a look at these ones. Okay, so this is like the passive container. I see. So you've got like the title above it with the description below. That's cool. That's kind of neat. I accidentally deleted one of the suggestions that somebody sent, and I got to go find it in my trash bin now. But yeah, that's cool. Want to learn Godot so bad. I'm kind of tired of Unity, especially for 2D games. Yeah, if you want to make 2D games, Godot is the best 2D engine around, in my opinion. Honestly, I'm not just saying that. Like, I actually think that's the case. So I would definitely spend the time, learn Godot. You won't regret it. It's community's growing, lots of helpful people, and it's just a great engine. I love it. What color palette are you using? I am using a color palette called Resurrect 64 from lowspec.com. Perfect. That's looking good. All right. That's basically the screen. Have you played The Cult of the Lamb? I have. I played it for like an hour. I mostly bought it just to see what they were doing. See if I could borrow some ideas. I've bought a lot of roguelikes recently just to try them out. But the only one I've spent a lot of time playing is Tiny Rogues. I love that game. Okay, so we'll commit all that. Awesome. 2D is where Godot really shines. I agree. What is the main advantage, disadvantage of using C# in Godot? Well, for me, I like how much more structured C# is, so you can apply traditional like software design patterns with C# much easier. So like I'm using abstract classes in a couple of places. You've got interfaces you can use if you want. So that's the main thing. I like the type system. It helps me create more sensible code that I can make sense of more easily. And then also you get access to NuGet packages. So you can use any NuGet package you want, basically. I mean, I'm sure there's limitations, but you can use NuGet packages in your game. So those are the reasons that I use it, but GDScript is perfectly capable, so definitely use that if you don't want to deal with the hassle of getting C# set up and everything. But yeah, that's why I use it. Tiny Rogues is fun. Oh, that's it. You shoot when you click the passive. Oh, good. Yeah, that's a good point. The reason is because if I go to my passive select screen, this one, I need the cursor lock component here and the blocking UI component. Those are components that when included on a node will stop the player input from working. And so now that won't be a thing anymore. GDScript syntax is like Python. It's similar to Python, yeah. It's more like Python than C#, that's for sure. Cool. All right then, well, let's see. Almost 4-hour stream today, but I think I'm tuckered out for now. So that'll be it for the stream today. Thank you everyone for hopping in and watching. If you haven't seen Gunforged Devlog number 10 yet, go check it out at my channel. And yeah, wishlist Gunforged on Steam. That's the big one. So if you're interested in this game, go ahead and wishlist it on Steam. That would be much appreciated. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching again. Thank you. And I'll see you all in the next stream or the next video. All right, goodbye everyone.